GSL. Kaboom, baby! Go.
We're back at GSL Code S. Again, not shocking results here. MVP 2-0 Marine King.
Yeah.
History repeats itself here at GSL.
You know, and he did say during the interview, Tasteless, that his wrists are really killing him today. It's really painful, and he couldn't micro so well. So he's very happy to have gone out in first place in this group, and I think it doesn't probably surprise a lot of people at all that he did do that.
Yeah, I mean, I think everybody basically thought MVP was going to get out. It's always a good bet to bet on MVP.
Yeah, it truly is. Like if you chose MVP or MC and just like always bet on them in every match ever, in every tournament, even tournaments they're not in, you're probably going to end up ahead.
Probably. All right, Curious against JYP now. This, I think, is going to be our closest match of the day.
It might be. You know what? No, I think the winner of this against Marine King could be really good. I think that might be the closest, but this one could be the closest too. You might be right about it.
I might be right. Give me a little bit of room here, a little bit of room.
I mean, JYP, he made his name as a PvZ savant, winning a lot with interesting builds that no one had tried at a time where PvZ was very difficult. Curious, very standard Zerg. He's mixed it up today. It hasn't worked out yet, but I think it's going to be a lot more standard play here against JYP as opposed to meta stuff like used against MKP.
And it looks like we're ready to get this going, guys. Here it is 8:30 p.m. Korean Standard Time. Game's going much quicker, actually, than normal for our normal days this season. But let's see, man. This series could be pretty epic here at GSL.
GSL. Welcome to GSL Whirlwind.
All right, in the upper left, we have our player. He was cheesed out hardcore by Marine King, but he's not done yet. He's going to keep fighting, try to get out of his group. He is
Starting Curious.
And in the bottom right, losing in a fairly close series up against the legend MVP, we have our Protoss player, the PvZ savant, as Artosis put it. He is
EGJYP Lady Core.
And he is already doing something cool, Tasteless. He's going for a 10 gate.
okay. I want to say that I think not based off skill alone, this should be a pretty even match, but I think for the map setup, I do think actually Curious is going to have an advantage here because, by the way, if you notice, he checked down there to see if there was an Overlord.
Yeah.
Pretty smart move. And the reason why is because the first map, Whirlwind, obviously a Zerg map. Second map, let's just say JYP loses on this, which most Protosses do lose on this map, even Protosses as good as JYP. The next map, okay, let's say JYP wins on whatever his favorite map is. Third map is going to be probably the second best map for Curious.
Yeah, there you go.
There you go.
I gotta say, guys, first off, that little scout that we saw him do, really intelligent. Now, Curious has actually gone hatch first to his third base location, which is really clever as well. There's so much clever stuff going on. Also, don't forget there is a 10 gate here where he's chronoing out Zealots, and he's doing it against someone who hasn't started his pool first. In fact, Curious looks like he might be going for double.
Oh, I think he's going to do some kind of a...
Is he going to go double hatch? No, okay. I guess.
Oh, I thought he was.
Oh, you know what?
He is. This actually...
Okay, so he's going double hatch against someone that went 10 gate and already has a single Zealot.
And he's making a forge. He could be doing that for defenses, or he could even try to do something offensive with cannons here.
And you know what? He's going to, I think, JYP's just going to get so far ahead from this.
This is such a smart build, and I think he's going to make a pylon. Yeah, he is. He's going to cannon rush this.
Yeah, there's a drone coming, but that doesn't matter because there's a Zealot on his way as well. And we know who wins between drone and Zealot. Tasteless. It's Zealot every time.
Thanks for the clarification of that, Artosis.
Yeah.
The spawning pool's not even It's not even done. It's not even like halfway done. It's almost barely a fourth of the way done.
Yeah, this is...
And this hatchery just finishes.
All right, he's sending more drones, and you know what? When he sees the Zealot, he's going to just be sad face, man.
He's going to be like, oh,
well, no, he'll
like
have the
my
same
worst
face.
GSL ever. I'm so sad.
Yeah, this is kind of rough. Oh, my God.
All right, now he can even actually keep pushing forward towards the other hatch if he wants. Or he can expand off this.
You know, I think he'll probably expand behind it. He doesn't know yet about the other hatch, but I think he's going to assume... Okay, just found out. Just this second found out about that other hatch.
All right, he should probably just move forward with the Zealots right now. The cannons are going to kill this.
You know what? Curious is doing like some sick meta builds today, and he's just getting caught every single time, unfortunately.
Yep.
Now, he hasn't finished off that hatch, and there's 12 lings in the way. No, it looks like he's going to go back. Okay, so that hatch will die 100%. And behind all this, he will expand. So,
talk about JYP having a good build for this map.
Well, against someone who goes double a hatch with no pool, man.
And by the way, wings are headed down for a counterattack. They will be denied.
Yeah, they aren't going to do anything. In fact, he's almost got a cannon halfway. He's got 2 Zealots already.
And now I bet he's regretting having sent those links. The links are coming back now, but there's going to be even more damage that's dished out here. When the Queen's going to come out, that's going to be really helpful in this moment.
Yeah, he'll be able to clean up these Zealots finally, but they're going to try to target down wherever they can. And he'll kill off the... Oh! A bit of a mess up there.
Okay. Now he held up the bulk of that attack, but JYP's in really good shape right now.
Oh, certainly, yes.
And, of course, he does have to kill off that cannon somehow.
I think he'll expand somewhere else.
Oh, you're right. He's doing exactly that. Top center, he's going to make a hatchery.
If you have to kill that off right now, that is... Oh, God, that's a lot of units
So many more lings you got to make that are going to die anyways, just so you can get that position.
Yep. So, from here, the question is, because normally on this map, you're going to see Protoss go 3-base basically every time. Either 3-base or like Gateway expand into like a really quick 2-base, because it is such a long map. But this game, it's really hard to say exactly what's going to happen, because he's done so much damage, he definitely can follow it up with a 2-base and know that his opponent, Curious, is not really going to have the economy he would normally have to try to fend that off.
He's getting 2 gases at his expansion hatch. And we do see a proxy pylon up there in the upper right. All right, so he knows the 3rd base is being remit. Generally, when you do cannon builds like this, which I did a lot, I don't do anywhere near as much as StarCraft 2, but I did in StarCraft 1. Normally, if you kill the first hatch and you're pretty good with the build that you're doing, you could just counter what they're doing and kill them.
Yeah.
You just basically scout them. As long as you get a scout and then he says, okay, 3 bases, he's not staying on 2. Usually it's pretty easy. Now, the map is still pretty big. And Curious does seem to be somewhat distracted because he did let that probe just hide in the top center part of his map.
Yeah, that JYP snuck that probe right in there. I think he actually thought he killed it.
Yeah, I think so.
Because he had his second queen that almost reached it. I was actually really surprised JYP pulled it to the side well enough. But yeah, I mean, this is definitely a really good situation for JYP. And he's going right into Stargate. And anytime I see a Protoss go into Stargate, when they've got the Zerg in a precarious spot, I really like it. Because Stargate, if you're good with it, will always do a little bit of damage. And it should do a little bit more because he hurt Curious already, so his economy isn't really there. Even forcing the Spore Crawlers is something very painful for him right now. And, you know, of course, if there's anything cheesy going on, this is going to be excellent against that as well. So I like the choice here by JYP.
All right, more Phoenixes are coming. And note, he's not shown the Phoenixes. Zerg does not see the Stargate at all, right?
No, he has no idea.
He's not scouted that or anything like that.
No.
Okay. And then
zero clue. But he might see if he runs up this ramp. And he sees. Good run up right there.
Yep. Nice peek. Robo, by the way, after this.
And once it's seen, of course, you got to go clean up the Overlord. So from here, Curious is throwing down Infestation Pit.
This will supply block him, by the way. Oh, no. Just as I say that, Overlords pop out just in time.
And JYP started Robo basically after his first Phoenix, like a really super quick one.
So he's going to try to crank out Colossi?
Definitely could be. Definitely could be.
And now the Gateway explosion occurs.
Huh.
I think he's going to do a 2-base timing.
Yeah, he definitely could. With just Phoenixes out. Oh, okay, that's what's going on. And he actually just doesn't see that.
Oh my god, it's like so barely out of vision.
I can't even believe that, man. This is just bad news for Curious. Everything is gone
And the funny
off.
thing is that he can actually send in, he can actually warp in all these like zealots, and even sentries actually. Oh my god, you're kidding me. He can actually force field the ramp if he wants to, make a bunch of zealots, come into the Phoenixes, and potentially just kill the main.
God, I tell you, Tasteless.
Oh my god, you're kidding me, you can't see that.
Oh, man. JYP
You can't see
is
that either.
on
All right,
the
now
ball,
I knows, now I
man.
knows.
Oh,
Is
does
it gonna
he?
work? Is it gonna work?
Oh, he's got to do the force field. Okay.
Oh my god.
Barely gets
Just
that.
the last freaking
But
second.
he's going to get this second sentry. All right.
Oh! You are. Oh my god, I am not tasteless. I am speechless right now.
And, I mean, the Phoenixes are going to come in
Did he
and
get
help
another
out.
sentry in there in time? He's got one. No, he's gonna go for zealots.
Yeah, he has +1 though, so he's going to eat through these Zerglings. The Roaches are going to do a good job, but he's going to be able to lift a lot with the Phoenixes. So, still, this has done much more damage than what Curious wanted here.
He's gonna get the pylon, he does, but this is just more and more damage that's been dealt here.
Yeah.
And you know, with the Phoenixes, he can pick up these extra roaches.
Yeah, he's going to get plenty of kills,
We
man.
got that queen, of course.
I mean, we see that Curious is up on supply, but does that matter? The tech is really great for JYP. The damage is really great. He hasn't lost a single Phoenix. He hasn't even taken damage on a single Phoenix. He's killed the queen in the main. He's forced a lot of units, and he saw the Spire. So, I mean, that's one way that a lot of Zergs will try to come back in a weird situation, is just randomly go into Spire, but he's already got Phoenixes, and he's seen it, so there's no way for mutas. So he is making Corruptors. And it's not a terrible choice, because you know that oftentimes there will be a Colossus follow-up to this, and they'll deal with the Phoenixes at the very minimum.
Wow, JYP, this is why this guy's a PvZ expert. He's showing us sick builds to use on this map.
Yeah, it really is. I like that 10 gate. The thing is, I want to see how the 10 gate does against like a more standard build, like a Zerg that isn't greedy. Well, his Phoenixes are actually cleaning up Lings even at this point. He just wants any kills he can get. So he's had a lot of kills.
And you know, these roaches are sort of stuck right now. He's lost way too many roaches without the roaches actually doing any damage.
Yeah.
Like, basically no damage, you can see here.
And, you know, that pylon he put in some kind of random place before, he's warping in Zealots there now to go for an attack.
Third.
Yeah, and,
Yep, and we should see the third base of the Zerg attack here.
Curious is going for like a lot of Corruptors right now.
All right, well, more Lings killed off here, and more Roaches now killed off. Well, maybe I spoke too soon. The Corruptors are now out.
That is a lot of Corruptors, though. And how many? Let's see. He has 2 Colossi. His third one's going to pop out really soon here. So he's going to be able to get rid of those Colossi pretty easily. But how big will the rest of his army be? Will it be big enough to really take advantage of that? Because he's invested 24 supply into Corruptors at this point. That is a lot.
Yeah, and even if you kill off the Colossi, what about the rest of the ground army? Colossi,
Yeah.
Corruptors can't hover over the ground like a vulture or something and do damage that way.
He just continues to utilize these Phoenix, too. Even with Corruptors on the map, he's finding ways to use them and kill off units here and there.
Now, when he sees this many Corruptors here, you notice he's actually switched into Immortals.
Yeah. That's
Which is
a
super
really good
smart.
choice. Really good choice. But Ling and Fest are on the way for Curious right now, even though he is still getting that ranged attack for Roaches, mixing in a lot more
He's got to be
Lings.
careful, these Phoenixes can't get cornered up here.
But at this point, you know, the Phoenixes are going to be useful in the main battle just to suck up Corruptor hits and help on the Corruptors. But overall, as 10 supply, they aren't the most useful 10 supply you could have right now.
All right, so looks like he's going to get out of here. He did not get cornered by the Corruptors. Just going to take continue to do a little bit of extra damage here and there.
Yeah. Still hasn't lost him.
Looks like he's even going to get this Overlord and still get out in time.
This Corruptor's just too slow.
He's trying to get the Corruptors so that they can intercept the Phoenixes on the way back.
And by the way, man, we have another pylon out, and he's so close to the 5th base of Curious that's warping in, he could actually kill it so easily, but he doesn't know yet. Just barely walks by
Is
that.
there
But
good Spinecrawler defense at these other bases?
there's about to be, but not yet.
Okay.
Well, that looks like it's enough. The Spinecrawler's finishing up, and Lings will stall those out. Oh, the Roaches come up through, so it doesn't even matter.
The Lings had a good surround there, too. Even with upgrades, it's like, wow.
And JYP's
Lose that.
actually going to go ahead and take a 4th base, which, based upon this Hive timing, is awesome. The Hive has just started, so he can absolutely take a 4th base before even moving out. I mean, it's going to take so long for anything truly scary to come out of Curious. You know, you need to get up to that Broodlord tech. If it's just layer tech, Protoss can sit around and turtle all day long and be happy. All right, well, here we go. That is a lot of infestors. The Lings get shredded in about 2 seconds. This is not a good engagement at all, really.
If the Colossi can just kill the infested terrors right as they hatch, you can kill these Corruptors.
Yeah, he should actually be running away his Colossi at this point. But he's going to get every Corruptor, it looks like.
And he's not even going to get that. Oh, he will.
That was like a really bad engagement by Curious. You know, it was a mostly Ling army. He went up to engage against the Colossi. You need to kill the Colossi off before you actually hit with that group of Lings. But the Colossi cleaned up everything, and then the Stalkers just had free reign on the Corruptors.
Well, also the infested Terrans. There were too many Colossi there.
Yeah.
The infested Terrans just died.
They did nothing there. Yeah, he needed a much more roach-heavy army to do that. But he's trying to do his best here. The Colossus count has been diminished. The Lings are flooding in. That's a lot of Fungals and Spinecrawlers.
You know what? I think he's actually going to drive it back. Really nicely done there.
Yeah, JYP overextending a little bit here.
And now look at the supplies here. 176 to 124.
Yeah, and, you know, at this point, it's 5 bases for Curious. If JYP had turned around after that one engagement, reinforced his army, he'd be in a great spot right now.
He got a little bit too overexcited and overextended just there. And actually, this game could go to Curious now.
Yeah, well, now it's anyone's game, right? It's 5 base against 4. Curious is getting that Greater Spire. Still, JYP looking very strong here. I'm still, like, siding with him for the game, but that was definitely a mistake, that full attack there. All right, so let's check the drone counts. We're about to have over about 90 drones against 70 probes, so that's
pretty powerful,
pretty decent for both of them, really.
His maxed out army's not going to be as good, but that won't matter when the Broodlords come into play.
But the Mothership's going to come out too. So that's going to be something very important. He is up to 3 Colossus with the 4th on the way. And he's starting to get his upgrades like Observer Speed. I'm sure he'll get Warp Prism Speed pretty quickly here as well. It's such a big map. Warp Prism is going to be very useful against Broodlord tech. And there's a lot of spines going up. So it looks like we're going to get into a bigger but normal-looking, you know, super late game here.
Oh, he didn't get the pylon? Okay, now he did.
And yeah, he may as well just run from here.
Nice, takes in that gateway. Now he's going to get the 6th base that's on the way. I don't think that can be canceled in time. I see no orange flips on the map going towards the upper right.
Yeah, he is.
I don't even know if Curious is paying attention. Okay, he is.
And it looks like he's going to send another attack towards the 5th of Curious, but it's way too well defended. Look at that. Really great defense there. Even has the Spore Crawler to make sure DTs can't do anything to it.
Painful death for that Zealot.
Templar Archives is on the way.
So, looks like JYP may be moving out again. You see a little Protoss death ball.
Yeah.
The Mothership's almost out.
You know, he's really going to have to utilize the speed of his army relative to the speed of the Broodlord-based army.
He might actually try to hit a base, destroy it, and then recall back.
Exactly.
You know?
I think that's exactly what he should be trying for. In fact, yeah, that's on a map this big. I would not look down on him at all for using recall over Vortex for at least the first bit of the game.
Oh, the 6th base tonight again. JYP everywhere.
Yeah, Stalker's doing a great job against this little group of roaches. He has superior upgrades as well with 3-1 against just 2-1.
Now, the Broodlords are almost done. In fact, I think they're about 2 seconds away from being finished. And maybe, I think maybe he will try to recall. Now, it looks like he backs off. And we're going to have a lot of Templars here. So he's hoping to do the Archon toilet to the Broodlords and send the Archons in there.
Yeah. And he is getting Psystorm as well, which is just... That's a somewhat new evolution where people have realized you actually, in these types of games where it's ultimate against ultimate, you have to have Psystorm or Infested Terrans become too much of an issue.
All right, he spotted the Warp Prism. But he doesn't have a ton of Corruptors out right now.
Yeah, he's only got 3 at the moment.
All right, and by the way, I like what JYP's doing, taking the upper right base.
Yeah, he's had a pile in there forever, too, so... Well, nice try at harassment, and we do have Roaches running in. Can these Roaches actually take down the Nexus? I don't think so. It looks like these Stalkers just too close by.
Now he is just out of range of those... oh, hold on. He could blink on that again.
Roaches just doing what they
man,
can.
actually, this could be huge if he gets up and inside to the main.
Indeed, it could. The Roaches still doing what they can, but they're just about cleaned up. Now we see, what can these Zealots do?
They're going to get the spawning pool.
That's very annoying. But, well, can he actually get through to that Greater Spire?
It's going to be tough.
Now it looks like the Infestors are coming in.
And all right, so he holds that off with ease.
Yeah. He has good protection around the Greater Spire as well. I love that Zergs are more and more often putting a lot of spines and spores around it, knowing that sniping that is one of the most powerful moves you can do late game with Protoss.
And he's moving out with the mothership, so he's going to try to take out the center left base. This is the most recent base that's been up and running.
That's right. He's truly getting ready for a huge confrontation by bringing his
mothership. It's going to take the Broodlords a while to get there.
Yeah, don't forget, though, the mothership very slow as well. In fact, they're the same speed, so by bringing that around with him, he makes his army effectively kind of slow, too.
All right. Notice he's kept the mothership in the background.
That's right. If he can sneak in, he does have an observer placed very well, as you can see in the top right there. And if he can sneak in and get a good vortex, that can be a game ender.
All right, he gets a good vortex.
Wow, that one wasn't too bad. Not a lot of Broodlords, but definitely got a lot of Corruptors in there. I mean, Infestors in there. And actually, he needs to bring his...
I don't know why he's not bringing the Archons over there.
Well, you know, well, that is death right there, Tasteless. Oh my god, he just killed so many Infestors. And now he's cloaked and he's going to back up. Oh my god, that was brutal for Curious.
Yeah, no kidding.
But he queues up 13 more Infestors. He's like, oh, I lost about 15 Infestors. I guess I'll make 13 right now. I'll make the other 2 later. That was brutal, though, man. That was a really good job. He brought his Colossus back at the last second so that he could actually target them instead of be fighting against Broodlings and the sort.
Well, pretty epic game so far. How are they doing? Do a mineral check for me. How's Curious and JYP both doing?
Well, JYP's main and natural are gone. His third is almost gone. His fourth is good. His fifth is good. For Curious, his main and natural are gone. His third's almost gone. His fourth is almost gone. And his fifth, of course, just died. So as far as economy goes, there's no question that JYP is in the lead.
All right, once again, he's going to go ahead and just deny this other base over here.
Brutal. Is his Speed Warp Prism even going to go towards the main? See what kind of damage he can get done there. And he's attacking into the last real mining base here.
And the Broodlords are definitely out of position here. He can easily get a snipe up on this hatch.
Yeah, JYP really utilizing the gigantic size of this map to just punish this very, very slow composition of Broodlords. And
now he's backing up. And now he's lost some more supplies, so we can keep warping in units over there. Run, little stalkers! Nope. They will all die.
They will, but the Greater Spire is gonna as well, Tastes, it looks like.
Yeah, you know what? I think he might even want those to die so he can warp it more inside the main over here.
Yeah, that definitely could be the case. I mean, killing that Greater Spire is gigantic. You keep that Broodlord count down where it is. And in fact, at this point, the Broodlords are not even really that scary. JYP has such a gigantic economy. I mean, he's making more gates. He's getting air upgrades just in cases, but that's not going to be needed.
It looks like Curious is going to do one big attack to the bottom right. I don't think it's going to work.
Well, that's his chance, right? I mean, there's not much else left for him here. The Warp Prism continues to do harassment.
Yeah. And I think right now, because there's been a lack of attention by Curious on this attack inside of his main, I think right now JYP's probably grinning, thinking to himself, oh, he's just going to do one more attack. All I got to do is win this one attack.
Yeah, Curious thinks it's closer to his too because he hasn't scouted the top right at all.
Yeah,
so he has no idea about that base. If he knew about that, he'd know that he's He's really almost just butting his head up against the wall here. But if he gets a really great engagement, he definitely can still win. In fact, he's ready for the base trade. He's brought Spore Crawlers and Overlords to drop Fleetwood, so...
Oh, well, random Guardian Shield.
All right, let's see what can be done here, Curious. His army is very frightening. He definitely has a potential to win an encounter with his opponent's army.
He's evacuating probes. This is not exactly a giveaway that there's another base. It could just look like he wants to do a base trade.
Yeah, certainly.
Well, here's the thing. If they do a base trade, then I think Curious...
Once the base trade is complete, he's going to realize there's another base on the map.
Yeah.
for our Protoss player. And yeah, so he's saying, all right, we'll go with that base trade that you want so bad that you brought Spores with you.
He's making a bunch of Void Rays, too. How many Corruptors are there?
Right now, there's 9 Corruptors, but there's 16 Infestors. So Void Rays, if those actually become useful, I'll be a little bit surprised, to be honest. Well, I mean, the one thing that we can say is that for Curious, this engagement will occur at some point. If he can get the mothership and utilize the mothership through a neural parasite,
yeah,
he has a chance. Because obviously the vortex is going to be what allows for JYP to clean up the army of Curious. But you know, it's hard to get a vortex off in this situation.
Right. And I know it's usually the Protoss can base trade a little bit quicker here just to have more mobility. The Broodlords are not fast.
And he's starting to figure out about what's going on. He's seen the base at the natural at the top right. Ooh, we will take down those borders so easily, yeah. So he's seen that base. He knows that that's where he has to go next. I don't know that he knows that the top right's been mining for a long time, though.
Yeah, he might do just one location with some cannons and everything else like that.
Now for JYP, he's just rebuilding his whole infrastructure up there. He's getting a lot of gates. He's getting Stargates as well. Stargates may not be the most...
Oh, he's going to try to get a neural.
Oh, that's huge. That is huge.
That's so smart.
That is so important. I can't even believe it.
Is he going to get it, though?
And, well, he's got to target that thing down as best he can. He was not going to get it. So, I mean, he saves the mothership, but all it's doing now is cloaking. Yeah. So he has this little period of time where he may be able to get over there, and I think by the time the Broodlords clear out this other side base and then go up there, he might have enough for a Vortex. And that's going to be it. So you'll have 1 Vortex instead of 2. That's huge. I would totally trade 2 Infestors for that all day, every day, Tasteless.
Wait, now... okay, I was going to say, his Hedry's gone, so Curious has to be revealed right now.
Yeah, so now he just has those 5 Spore Crawlers walking around with him very slowly. He has a bunch of drones. Oh, he has enough money, so he's going to make a hatchery anyways. Yeah, that's... Obviously, this game is not going back into a game where he's mining. He has to actually go kill. In fact, the Overlord he's scouting with right now, he sees that there's a huge infrastructure in JYP's top right. So he's going to know. He's going to say, all right, it is time. Got to go over there. Got to kill it.
What's the energy on the mothership?
All right, right now it's at 61. So yeah, I think he's going to get 1 more Vortex this game, and the game's going to be decided. Might even be before then. We'll see.
Pretty epic game here, guys.
No, this is epic. Like, Curious has actually fought himself into a position he has the potential to win. Even though all game long JYP has played like a monster.
All right. Looks like he might try to come in here from behind with those...
he's got to be so careful on feedbacks. Some beautiful... Oh my god, those storms. But he kills them off. Did he just kill every High Templar? That's huge.
I think he did.
That wasn't... I don't feel like it's enough damage for those High Templars. All right, by the way, as far as supplies, we see it's 190 against 133, but it's 10 drones against 48 probes. So that's 40 supply difference in workers. So army supplies
here we go. It's almost to the boiling point.
Vortex is ready. And oh my god, let's see what does he got. And that's a pretty big Vortex. Well, the Broodlords are still out of it at least.
But I think the thing is that...
Yeah, the Corruptors are in there. So... the Corruptors and all of the Infestors. And in fact...
I think the ground army is too strong.
Does he actually have enough here?
Well, don't forget that he's making Void Rays right now.
Yeah,
he has 2 in his base, so he really just needs to get the Corruptors.
He has 2 Infestors here. He has to keep those alive. He has to cast some fumbles. Oh, he loses both of them. Okay, so his anti-air consists of 5 Corruptors That's all he's going to have against Void Ray production.
I think
so,
he just
yeah.
did it. I think he just now won.
Looks
Void
like
Rays, when they come in later, can kill off these Corruptors. And, of course, he can kill off these Spine Crawlers, too. GG. Great game.
Crazy.
It was a real treat to cast.
There's just no question that JYP deserved that one, man. He really played like a beast all game, kept himself ahead, played greatly. But curious, the resilience on this man to bring it back to something that close. You know, if that Vortex hadn't gone off, I feel like that battle definitely goes to Curious.
Yeah.
So, you know, that's the nature of it. He should have probably gone for the top right before killing off that not mining base that had 3 gates at it. That was not a worthwhile thing.
Yeah, those are like paperweight bases. Those are just there because you don't lose if they're not destroyed. Instead of, he should have hit the base that has an economy.
Yeah, it's too bad. The mothership at the end there, regaining for that Vortex is really just so crucial.
Nice. Normally you see players always Vortex on the Broodlords, but he looks at that and he says, well, you don't have any money.
Not just that, yeah.
I can Vortex on the Infestors, and the Corruptors ideally too. If you kill off the Infestors, mass Void Ray against Corrupt or Broodlord, Void Rays will win.
That's true. And one thing we do have to point out as well is a lot of times we're seeing more Vortexes on Infestor Corruptor because they're keeping those in between. They're saying, you can't get over here. I will fungal you. I will neural you. I will attack you with Corruptors. You're not going for a Vortex on these Broodlords. And, you know, that's, of course, another part of that. So
sometimes I feel like even though Broodlords are almost always the answer, maybe on that map not so much. Not exactly a map where you can be that mobile.
I feel like it's a map that I'd love to just watch Symbol play 100 ZVPs on because Symbol uses Ultras more often. I feel like maybe you utilize Ultras with some Banelings mixed in as your first Hive tech to take out a few Protoss bases because...
You feel like you could get a bunch of Banelings against somebody who's going Mothership, and then when they actually make a Vortex, you could send Banelings in there. Now, granted, they put Archons in there. Banelings don't exactly kill Archons.
The thing is, you have to put like 50 in, but I've seen it happen.
Yeah.
Some people do try that. And some people even throw a lot of Infested Terrans in there to push the Archons to the side so the splash isn't as bad and stuff. But
there's a lot of weird stuff.
Yeah, Vortex is a funny spell.
Yeah.
It's a funny spell.
Well, looks like JYP. He had a quick little restroom break, but we're back now. I think we're going to go to Game 3, Artosis. I just don't foresee this.
You think Curious will take this one on Daybreak?
I think so. He looked pretty solid.
He did. He did.
JYP,
He looked great.
Despite, let's face it, he knew that was going to be the first map he's going to have to play against him. He's like, all right, I'm not going to play normal. I'm going to Zealot Cannon rush you.
A 10-gate, guys.
Cripple you. Curious took it all the way to endgame into a base trade and still barely lost.
It's true. Curious brought that game back in amazing ways. So, yeah, there's definitely the possibility that he will be able to take Daybreak here because it is his map choice.
All right, let's do this. Tastes and Artosis. Tastosis, the Casting Archon. Bring you the best possible StarCraft 2 action with the best players, hands down, in the world at the GSL.